So we're live on Facebook. Got it. Facebook just told me we are live. And I'm just making sure that my Facebook just goes off before the echo starts. Yeah. So we're off on Facebook as well. Hi, good morning, everyone. And I'm back. Before I introduce my guest, I must tell you that I was interviewed by Lucy yesterday at 11:30 p.m. from Mexico. And I would like you to, I've put that link on my profile. The reason I want all of you to go and see it, because Lucy is 75 years old, you know, and she is crushing it online. She's totally crushing it technically. Like, she is amazing. And at 75 of age, she is doing so many things which we all keep making excuses of, that, oh my God, technically not possible. You know, we don't think technology is for us. Please look at her. Just look at how awesome she is. And I was telling you that I would be having champions who are going to be cheering up mothers. Lucy definitely would be one of them who's going to be cheering up these 100 moms to reach to the last point of 100 book. So please drop in to just, not for me, what I'm saying, but what Lucy is like. You know, you will see somebody in action at 75 with so much spirit that it'll uplift you today morning if you're watching in morning, and you will sleep very well thinking we all can do it if Lucy can. So if Lucy is watching this, thank you, Lucy. You're just amazing. So here we have another dear friend, very, very dear friend, for a very, very talented woman called Vinita Contractor. And I happened to, invite her for one of my health initiatives as one of the speakers 2 years back. And what I love about her is just her spirit of, keep learning, keep finding the ways, figure out what's the right thing, nurture people. Her nurturing soul is amazing. But more than that, I also love her as a mom. Like, I always say that there are few moms, and and the moms who are watching know which mom I'm talking about, who I really look up to. And Vinita Contractor also is one of them. And that's why she had to be on my show for sure, as an interview and being one of the champions. So Vinita, welcome. And I'm so happy to have you here. And you know how much I love your boys as well, and how you're raising them. And I've always gotten gaga of the way you're raising the boys, and just the whole journey of putting them into this path of the right thing to do. Um, and let's just introduce yourself, because I always say that I don't read biodata. It's not nice to read them. It's better that
Yeah.
introduces their journey. So please introduce yourself to the audience.
So firstly, thank you, Shika, very much for having me.
Pleasure.
And I'm already excited to watch Lucy's, interview, because I will talk about challenging, uh, being tech challenged in a bit later. And so if I have to introduce myself, so I'm based out of Bombay. I'm a holistic nutrition and lifestyle coach. I'm a mom of two boys, two-legged babies, and in the process of setting up a farm where we hope to spend a lot of time. And yeah, I've been plant-based for about 5-6 years, and I found that that's something that can really transform people's health, accompanied, of course, with the right mindset, the right lifestyle. And yeah, we'll talk more as Shikha and I converse.
Yes. And anyway, let me first start your this interview with you being a mom, and what is it to be like a mom of these two super amazing talented boys who just like shine when I see them whenever I do, even in their pictures. And the fact that they very the way they've embraced this vegan movement, the way they've embraced getting in this path with you with so much I don't have words for it, but they are very open kids who are walking with you, learning with you, and embracing this movement of plant-based diet, and still being in hostel, want to stick to it. It's okay if they slip sometime, that's all right, but they really essentially core has got aligned with this plant-based, which I'm very passionate about myself. So let's talk about that. And I know
So
you're emotional about it, because this, like, you're making me emotional as well, because I know your feelings for your boys, but this is the mother's thing, and then we all are like that. So let's
yeah,
go ahead.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So it's just the topic itself is, yeah. So many people might be surprised, despite what you say, that as a mom, I feel pretty inadequate.
All of us do.
I don't feel like I'm doing a great job. You know, I think each child comes with his or own destiny, and they choose us. And I think sometimes I think they're here to fix us rather than anything else. Um, and that they are our gurus, and we think we are looking after them, but I think it's the other way around. And I think wherever they are is a sum total of many things, not just what I do.
Right.
So I won't take credit for it. And I just think, if at all, I think I've taken my job as a mom far too seriously. And it's uh, kind of like a mirror on me right now, because they've my boys have turned teenagers, and they're no longer in their boarding school. They're at home
Yeah.
with the pandemic, with online school, and teenagers. Whatever I've stood for is like being thrown back at me. So um, so yeah, it's I think being a mom is just I think it's one of the biggest privileges, I would say, because I don't think I would have worked on myself as much. I don't think I would have got such an honest feedback if it wasn't for my boys. I don't think anybody's as honest as kids.
You've got somebody called Francis who's cheering us up all the time from the other part of the world right now at nighttime, and she's saying, I want to give you a big hug. You're doing an awesome job."
Thank
And
you.
she works with children, and she works with. She's a mom herself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Francis, for that. But Vinita, I mean, this is a ride of a mom anyway, and this whole journey that I'm taking, where moms are actually, we always feel inadequate. We are thrown at so many things. I'm getting calls from moms who are saying, you know what, like my kids are about to leave, and I'm getting like they're 19-year-olds and they're growing up, and I don't know what this feeling is, and there's some moms who are absolutely brand new moms. I think it's a very emotional journey anyway. So nothing goes perfect, but I also feel that once you see the value being put at the right time, even if it looks like a bumpy road coming and it looks like oh, it's not happening, it'll all fall in place. Remember when we were kids, our grandparents and parents used to say, "You will understand when you will become a parent what it is," right? So it all falls into place when we grow up, and we need to take these journeys of these bumpy roads because that's the fun part of being a teenager, or fun part of being leaving the house and going away. So that's like amazing, and that's why I'm doing this movement to have this community of moms in this 100 books, saying that there are all shades of moms you will see in this book, and all these moms will be going through something or the other, but the only thing is that we need to start taking the flight up for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So
can't
when it comes,
yeah, make this as an excuse to go downwards. That's the only thing. So
and about the boys choosing to be plant-based, I think children are anyway very sensitive.
yes.
They don't have all the excuses or all the blinders that we have.
Right.
And when they saw in their own way the reality of what's happening to the environment, what's happening to the animals, health was not so much on their mind, because
Definitely.
as kids they are just like, we're fine.
Yeah.
Um, they just switched overnight, and then it was my job to kind of support and make sure that they got all the things that they were used to eating in the dairy, with the dairy.
Yes.
So I think once something resonates with them, children are far more committed, I would say,
Yes.
than even adults, because they're very heart centric. No,
Absolutely.
they don't have so much noise in their head. It's very clear, and they just do it.
We are talking about clarity, that I have a son who is very clear that he is not vegan. So that clarity is there at 6 and 7. And
Yeah.
he's telling me, "Oh, my mom is vegan, I am not." So
Mm,
she's a
yeah.
clarity as well.
Yeah.
And come like as you hope that they all, come their way, and they come the way that you want them to come. But I
Yeah.
think it will take its course. And as a mom, that I'm sitting and believing that one day he will say that you're absolutely right. I think this is a path to take, but I'm
Yeah.
waiting for it. So we all have challenges as moms because to keep quiet and sit down and say, yeah, you're fine here if you're not vegan, it's all right, go
Yeah.
ahead. That's the journey of mom, and we can keep talking about it because you're a passionate mom. A lot of us are passionate moms here. I think all moms are awesome. They're trying to do their best to survive in the best way, mentally, and financially or society wise. And really interesting stories are coming out in this book, and like I always have this emotional feeling when I finish interviews because I'm like, my God, like there's another mom who, and I'm feeling that with you right now as a connection as a mom. But let's move on to um, from children to this movement that is there, because I try to keep these interviews 30 minutes so that people can see the whole thing. And this whole thing that I found, that these inadequacies that we feel inside as mothers is something that is happening across the world to mothers. And there are some mothers. I had just Rashmi Palkiwala, I had interviewed her just interview before, and she said I never felt like that, and I'm just very happy to know that. So I said you should definitely be in the book because there has to be all shades of mothers, right? And so what do you think of this whole self portrait? Why does it scare us? Why is it that we're always trying to avoid it? We're trying to just, it's just a gadget, it's just a picture, it's just a social media thing where somebody will see us even for a second or 2 seconds, because some of us are not still so popular that people are following us. But even if to put ourselves for that 2 seconds out, even on social media or in our family groups, we are like, we're not doing it, and we give resistance at another level, like level after level after level of resistant excuses come in. And this small little gadget, which is my life, called photography, has scared me, and now I'm out, but has scared a lot of women and a lot of moms especially. Why do you think that happens?
I think we're very critical. I mean, not, I won't generalize, but I can talk about myself, and I'm sure many people feel like that.
Yes.
I think we judge ourselves far too harshly. We're very critical, and though I'm saying it, it still doesn't stop me from cringing each time I need to make a video or I need to put out content. And when I started my work journey, before that, I did not even have social media accounts. Okay.
Right.
So, whatever I have done in the last 5 years has been literally putting myself out there.
Yes.
uh, Despite doing it for so long, um, I still procrastinate every time there's a content, bucket that I have to create. Whenever I need to shoot content, that's like I'll find 10 excuses. Or I'll have to finish my exercise because my hair has to be fine. Or I'll have to make sure, I mean, I'll have 10 reasons why I can't shoot that day till it comes to here, you
Right.
know
Yeah.
and I think it's just to do with the fact that there's an image that we all probably have in our head that we're trying to match up to, or our younger selves, or you see so much on social media, which is not real, but it still works on your subconscious. And you feel like, hey, listen, I don't have the time or the patience, and I don't look like that, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And you don't want to use those filters
Right.
just to look better, but neither are you comfortable with what you look like right now. Sometimes it's that whole I want to be real, but I don't have the guts to be real,
Yes.
you know that kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what stops us. And of course doesn't change the fact that there are zillion other things always happening around you where you don't really feel like you have the space, like the I think in urban India, space is a constraint also. So that kind of keeps you always at the edge. That just when you're trying to do something, which usually happens to me when I'm trying to shoot something, some kid will come and make fun of it and say, "Oh, you're doing one of those reels,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh my God, as it is, it was tough. I didn't need this from you,"
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But Vanita, it's not only like this where I'm talking about camera is not only social media. And absolutely with you, because I'm leading this movement. I'm into it deep. Even now, I'm like looking at myself and I'm telling myself, do not even let that resistance sister come up. Like, do not let it come up. Because I'm like, oh my God, like, why did I, like, there's this camera who's not working, which should make me look better. And I'm really desperately trying, even before your interview, that camera should work, but it doesn't work, right? It didn't work. So I'm like, let this go with this silly camera on my Mac, and I'll just let it be, like whatever it makes me look. But it happens that even now it happens to me. But I was not only talking about social media. I also found with all the research across the world, talking to many, many women when I was doing research for my course that I wanted to launch. about self-portrait was that they don't even want to be there in children's pictures. They don't want to be. They want to be totally absent. Right? Like some mothers really want to be, but many mothers were trying to be absent from their children's pictures. And then I found the next generation, and I have very nice champion mothers of yours who've joined in saying that I was a photographer and I'm missing from my children, but I will not, after this movement, be missing from my grandchildren's pictures. Because, I was interviewed by somebody and I was asked that you talk so much about your father. Do you have a picture of your father and yourself? And, I searched left, right, and center. My father was a hobby photographer. Since 18 years of age, I'm a photographer. And then I don't have one nice picture of my young child with my dad. And he searched and I searched, and I don't know where we just couldn't find. And he's 73, he's slipping away in another world, sometimes in his old age. And then I will be searching for that memories, to hold on to. And then this camera is scaring us even more because of pandemic, and we're constantly with cameras, and we are in state that we don't want. So every time a picture comes, it reminds us of what we've become. And because we don't want to see that, we just snub it away. Like we just say that, oh, this is all fake and this is not nice. But we're not even ready to put them in our own phones, even if nobody's watching it. Forget about putting it in social media. We will not take our picture and put it on the phone as well. So that's where it's come to now. It's actually become a psychological problem, which is like underlining all mothers, especially right here. And that's why I picked up this thing, because I realized it was a pulse that was like very painful, but it seemed it was wrong. And this whole self-image has to drop, and that's why the self-portrait book is going to come, where mothers are going to take their self-portrait and their stories about themselves. And
That's yeah, that's a little scary for me.
it is scary for everyone, but that's the whole thing. But why are we scared? What are
Yeah,
we scared of?
yeah,
Like, what are we scared of? And as long as we are living our lives the way we are, it's a photograph,
yeah,
which might become something to possess for the generation next
yeah.
for us. It's not
Yeah,
even for us.
interesting. Like, if I have the two children next to me, and I'm holding them, at that time, I'm very comfortable, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
because the feeling kind of envelopes that moment,
right, right.
and somehow if it's almost like I have two kids to prove that that's why I have changed, how much I have changed, and it's okay, you know. But when you're by yourself, when you're by yourself with no one next to you, sometimes
Right.
that can be intimidating because you just feel like all the eyes are on you,
Yes.
and you almost say that everyone's busy looking at the kids, nobody's going to notice you.
But also with somebody like you, it's not that you're taking this bold step in front of the camera because you want to hold on to your children's childhood. So you're only taking it not only because you feel that that's a reminder that you've become like that,
Yeah,
because you're like, mothers do whatever they do once they become mothers, right?
yeah, yeah,
We will do something. So we want to hold on to that thing that you're growing up. Doesn't matter whatever it is. Let's just take some pictures. So some moms are going to take that bold step just for the sake that we are holding on to them growing up. So for you, it's
correct.
also that, oh my God, they're growing up. Let me just take more and more pictures, because once they're gone, I can sit down and hold on.
Yeah,
But yes, that reminder that comes from every day what we've become. And that's what I've been telling a lot of, like, I've also talking to somebody who was saying that I only show up when my family is around. And I was telling her, because that's your safe place. You feel safe with them. You feel absolutely no judgment of anybody telling you, because for your children, you are like a queen. Even if you're in your pajamas sitting with oil in your head, they're not going to come and look at you and say, what's wrong with you? Like now they grow up and they comment and tease you, which is different. But actually, for your children, you're absolutely their queen. So we feel very safe around them. And that's why we sometimes take, but you will be amazed. A lot of mothers are actually even missing from that. They don't want to come. And then the whole ripple effect is coming on children, because children think you'll need to look a certain way. You need to smile a certain way. You need to put your heads a certain way. Only then the picture comes. It's no more that beautiful thing which was all about memories. It's become all about looks.
yeah,
That's why
that's sad.
yeah, that's why my course was called Selfies to Self Confidence. Because
Hmm.
selfies is all about that one angle that you find and that one smile that you find, and you make sure that no matter where you go in life, you are going to take your pictures in that one angle. And self portrait is a journey. Self portrait is a journey to take your, look at yourself, find yourself, not from other point of view, but finding yourself and then saying, oh my God, I'm gorgeous. Look at this. This is like amazing. And this is my story. And that's why one of the mothers who were here from, she's a Latino woman, Jamile, and she said, what if Mona Lisa comes out and starts beating all the stuff, saying that I don't even look like this. Like, this is not my spirit. Made this painting so big, like with the spirit of looking like that. I am some other woman altogether. So
Yeah.
that's why self-portrait important, because it's going to be a journey. It's going to be retrospective of whatever resistance comes in, which I always tell people is an energy. Like if you tell ourselves change habits, we can change it. But if you say resistance, we feel we are actually dealing with an energy which is sitting on us and not letting us do anything. So it's going to be a journey for you. For me, it's a journey for me because I was feeling like that. And every single day I'm moving forward, feeling better and better about surrounding myself with mom and also telling them it's okay. It's just a camera. It's just a picture.
Yeah.
Don't think it's possible, right? Nothing is happening and stop this image talk. So let's move on to now also the third part of the book, which is you. It's going to be all about you now. You're going to talk more. Is about manifesting your dreams. What are you already doing? You're already living towards, you're walking very, very firmly, I'm seeing towards the kind of stuff you want to do in life. And I know there are many, like there's a bigger and a bigger dream right hiding under you. So in this book, we're going to put that out as well because it's called 100 Self Portraits, 100 Dreams. So let's talk about your dream now, Vinita.
So my dream is to get maximum people that I can reach out to and get them to lead their life, the healthy life that they want to. I
Right,
want to reach out to those people who are looking for someone to support them to
right,
get to their best version of health.
right,
And my dream is to reach as many people as I can. It's as simple as that. I just feel health has gotten too complicated. Most people know everything, at least more. I mean, the most fundamental things everybody knows. The fine tuning, of course, when you come to a professional, that helps. But what most people really want is someone who understands and someone who holds their hand through the process. You
right,
know, and it's amazing how, if very often in life, whether it's somebody, needing to talk to somebody, very often people prefer the non-clinical type of, a person to talk to, in the sense, not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. They just like somebody who's like a counselor. So
right,
the same thing, like I hope that my approach, which is not very clinical, more practical, more simple, not getting into jargon, not getting into too much of science, but just going with basic stuff which anyone will nod their head and say, yeah, it makes sense.
right,
And just, be there for people and get them on the track that they already inside want to, but it's similar. All of us want a certain thing,
right,
but we self sabotage. We don't, start the right way. We won't take the right help. We won't, access the right kind of stuff. And then we say, see, I wasn't capable of doing it.
right. Absolutely. So
So
how can people, like, what do you do now? Like, so
yes,
I think we still need, I think we've just gone and drifted as mothers also, but I also want your dream to come out. So if you
yeah,
tell people more about it, what exactly are you doing? Like, how
yeah,
do you approach this and what do you do? And what are you doing by pivoting online? Like, how
yes,
all the links I've put in,
yeah.
how people can reach you and what are you doing?
So what I primarily do is I work on a one-on-one basis where I coach people to either reverse their lifestyle diseases or get to a much better level of health if those conditions are not reversible. So
Right,
whether it's diabetes, PCOS, thyroid, cholesterol, um, any hormonal imbalances, all of that. I
right,
work on a one-on-one basis. So between 1 month to 3 months, people can sign up, and I work with them on a individual basis where we personalize based on their lifestyle, based on their preferences. We work on that. In addition to that, what I've done online is, this was way before the pandemic. Actually, little did I know that it's going to be the need of the hour. I used to take a lot of in-person workshops,
right.
and I decided that, I had done already like some 150 of them,
Wow.
and I had traveled, to different parts of India, done them whenever I traveled overseas as well. And I just felt like, how can I do this where I can reach more people and not feel like such a drain? Because, doing a cooking workshop has like a whole lot of preps and everything. So I started off with these two online courses. One of them is everyday dairy free delights, where people can make, yeah, all the usual milk products made into dairy-free versions. And the other one that I have is fun with fermented foods. So from kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and some Indian ones as well. They're all bundled up. So I have two e-learning courses. And of course, this coaching now, which I'm talking about, which is one-on-one, is also happening online most often because people have just like, you can talk to anybody in the world now and do the counseling like that. So I do that.
Yes.
And then I have a juice cleanse every month, which people join in. And I do corporate workshops where I spread this whole thing to a larger audience through corporates.
Right.
So that's what I do. And I think online has just made geography immaterial, like everybody's realizing.
Absolutely.
You can, I mean, there's no limit in that sense now. You're not bound to a space.
Yes. Talking to a person who's talking to mothers like across like crazy. I always wanted to take like do pictures from like I wanted to take pictures, but now look at what's opened up. The whole self-portrait movement that's opened up globally for me is because of this blessing in disguise, which is there that I can. You'll be really like the day you add like the group that's getting ready with all only these 100 moms, you will be amazed at what stories of these mothers are coming, amazing mothers, and they're going to uplift them each other plus uplift many mothers with this book. So Vinita, I mean, I also want to put in a word. I've in my health initiative, I did two workshops. She's the only one I featured twice because of just the way she brings her work. You know, she will bring it in a such a simple way. And we were taking this journey of plant-based at that time, reversing autoimmune in my own family. And you know, when she came in with her energy, you feel that you know it's possible, right? It's possible to do it. And then she aligns you with the fact that you know with actually the good thing about Vinita is that she doesn't like put any judgment. So she's like, okay, if this doesn't work, let's work here. I understand you're with kids, I understand you have family, everybody doesn't want to convert to health space. So she works around that when she's uplifting you. So that's like her big thing, and I'm absolutely pro Vinita's work. Like many plant-based featured, but Vinita is very dear to me, and her course I've taken both of them. Um, and whoever wants to take this journey of health and plant-based, please reach out to Vinita's website. And it is that I'm not making this space as an advertising space, but the reason I am trying to do this is that these moms are really showing up and they are making impact on some of the other way. And that was my third criteria in the book. That mothers need to make some impact in spite of being moms. And all these mothers that I'm getting here is so that mothers, even if they on day-to-day life are not thinking they're doing nothing, they can start making an impact if not taking a profession on. Because that's very important to have that ripple effect of impact. And Vinita is really doing making that impact in
I
her
wanted to
way.
share, sorry, before we end, I just
Yeah,
remember something very important that I actually was in the corporate world. I was a banker.
yes.
And after that, I switched to teaching because I wanted to do something which I could continue doing after my kids as well. But after I had my kids, I just chose to not work for a while. And it was after I turned plant based. And when I saw that my children needed substitutes, and I also wanted to make sure that nutritively they got enough, that's when I started studying again. So I don't have my education right from 20 years ago. I started studying in my uh, 40 onwards, where I started studying all the stuff that I'm using right now professionally. Completely changed my career path. And the driving force was making sure first that my own family was doing well on a plant based diet. Because
Right,
I said, before I can share this, I need to be convinced
right.
and I need to make sure that my children's growth is not affected and, they are thriving. So that's something that I would say being a mom kind of changed that whole thing for me. Because
Right.
had it just been for myself, maybe I wouldn't have taken so much effort and I would have probably kept it to myself and just said, okay, I'm following it, I'm happy with it.
Yes. And what you just said is if we were not moms, we will not do many things, you know. We would
Yeah,
just like sit back and say we don't need to do it. So once we become mothers, the steps we take, we would not take it for ourselves anyway. So
yeah, yeah,
when they become our reason to move forward, they should also become our reasons to shine. And
yes.
that's this whole thing about. That they should look at us and say, wow, my mom used to shine. We've become parents. I don't know how she was shining when she was a parent. And that's what I look at my dad back, and that's the inspiration. That when I look at him and I'm like, wow, so he was going through so much, and he was always smiling and
I
shining,
was there for you. Yeah.
growing up and dancing. How did he do that? Now that I'm a parent, I realize that I don't know how he was doing it, and I appreciate it so much more. So we're
I
gonna
also remembered, yeah, one last thing, sorry. I'm waking up now to
no,
everything.
please, because I thought you have to leave, and
No, no,
that's
no,
why
I'm fine.
you go
I'm
up.
fine. I remembered I listened to a mountaineer. His name is Kuntal Joyshar. He's also plant-based. And I was listening to him talk, and I don't know in what context I shared with him about the children. And he said, if you want your children to follow their dreams, you need to find yours. And his talk was how to find your Everest. Okay,
Wow, how to find your Everest? Nice.
Everest. And that kind of changed, it just made me shift that you can be saying, I want you to try your best, and it's hard, but you must do your best. You want to keep saying that to your children. But when they see you do it,
Yeah,
and I'm not doing it for them, but I realize that unless I go after what I want,
yeah,
the children are not going to see that. They're just going to see you as a mom who was always there for them.
yeah,
But I want to be a mom who's always there for them, but also doing what fuels me.
yes.
Because then they see when I have a great day or something great happens, or on a day where nothing works, they still know that I'm there in my mom's life. I'm very important to her, but she's also doing something that's very important for herself, you know?
Absolutely.
And that find your own Everest was like
It's a
life
beautiful
changing for me.
it's a beautiful gift you're giving to everybody who will be listening, and will I know that there will be some comments coming later as well. Is that find your Everest? It's absolutely amazing because and Vinita, Sadhguru's quote that I always live by and I always say, and that pulls me up, is this quote that, like, he had written this quote says, I saw a flower, I thought it was giving. When I went closer, it was just living. And the flower basically doesn't give you anything. It's not even surviving to give you anything. It just lives and you get. You are the one who
Beautiful.
passes by, who gets, whoever. So if you fulfill your living, you will give. There is no other choice, because that shine, that light, that will give, because
Yeah.
the whole purpose of that light and shine is to give
Yes.
brightness to others. We can't dim ourselves and think we can brighten up even our children's lives,
True.
because we don't even know what we are doing to them by being dim. And
True.
they are going to be growing up in a very dim light, which is not nice, because that's the image they carry of being a parent. That wants to become a parent, like
Not a parent, a mother.
a mother for sure. I've had a beautiful father. So
Yeah.
for my father was an extraordinary man. So that's why I
Yeah.
always say a parent, because I've been raised by a
No,
beautiful.
in the context that we are saying,
Yes,
that
absolutely.
they probably don't see their dads that way, but they will see their moms that way if the mom has not,
Oh yes,
kind
oh
of
yes. And
experienced
mothers,
herself.
yes, and the mother's journey needs to, like that. That's why Shaurya is sitting right here, and I always keep asking, "What do you think your mom is doing?" And the first when he was younger, he used to say, "Oh, my mom is in Google. She's a famous photographer." And then, of course, my diminishing light, then it went off to, "Oh, she does something online." And now again, he started saying, "Oh, I think you're helping some mothers. That's what I think you're helping." So I think that he will remember this, that I helped moms and I uplifted them by taking this journey. And that's what your children are going to see, that you're doing and helping other people with their health. And that's what is the real learning, because they imitate us, and then they look at us and they get their light, that the flower that I'm talking about. It can't be a wilted flower they look at. They will never
Yeah.
get that light, right? They will never
True.
get the fragrance. we
Correct.
will we will not pass it on. Only when we bright, and when the brightness comes is when we are living like our own thing. So the Everest is a great gift for me. I'm taking from this interview. Find your Everest and walk. Like, let the kids walk with us to our Everest,
Yes.
right next to us, giving us strength. Anita,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being such a beautiful soul, and thank you so much for actually doing. I know your heart, and I know so much more is about to happen. And I'm very, very glad that I'm announcing you as my champion in this book. I would love to see your page unfold with that one picture and your story. And when the mom comes in, see, I'm getting goosebumps saying it, but I really want this picture of this mom right there with her, whatever your story is. I don't know how it turns out to be that page, but we will, because it's not the mugshots I'm putting stories. So all you moms have to work for coming as champions on your story, because imagine the unfolding of every page and there's a story, picture story, just not a picture.
Yeah.
So we'll work on it in the next
Thank
100
you.
days, and take care, Vinita. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to stop the live. Francis,
Thanks,
you're the
Shikha.
best. You always, like every interview, she's turning up and cheering us up. So I just love her for that. Thank you, Francis.